Hey guys, this is Josh. Today I'm going to brew my favorite recipe on the KALITA way. Pretty much any morning that I'm not working in the shop, this is what I brew at home. So to get started, I've measured out 20 grams of coffee in this hand grinder here. I love this hand grinder. It's my favorite hand grinder. I love it so much that I don't let any of my roommates use it or touch it, especially not Bryce. Bryce is the worst. So to get started, before we grind the coffee beans, I have water heating up on the kettle to about 203 degrees. And so we're going to take that really quickly and wet the paper filter here. That just kind of gets rid of any paper taste and keeps the filter from obstructing the flow of the water. Alright, and so we're brewing about 20 grams of coffee to 320 grams of water, which gives you about a 12-ounce cup. Now, the best part about this hand grinder is it's not tedious to use whatsoever, and it makes a very pleasant sound that your roommates love to wake up to in the morning. So this also helps solve the question of why I have such great triceps on my right arm. Alright, so we're going to take that, put it in there, easy enough. Scale is set to 0. We're going to grab our water at 203 degrees to 205, doesn't have to be exact. And going to pour about 50 to 60 grams, just kind of saturate all of the grounds, get them all wet. And we're going to wait 30 seconds and let it bloom. Basically just remove any pent up gases in the coffee. It helps give you a much better extraction. And now we wait. Alright, so after 30 seconds, then you're going to begin your pours. And I like to do kind of a pulse pouring method up to about 180 grams. It's like 2/3 of the way up to KALITA. And you want to spiral out about the size of a quarter and no more. That kind of allows for even agitation of the grounds and even distribution of the water. After that, you just kind of eyeball it and maintain that level about 2/3 of the way up the brewer. Normally no one's staring at me as I do this in the morning, so you don't realize how much time you have to nervously look around the room. So total brew time from starting the bloom until the coffee drains through should be roughly 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If not, then you need to kind of check the dial in, maybe grind the coffee a little bit more fine or a little bit more coarse. I don't know if you've ever tried to fill up your gas tank to exactly $20 or something like that, and you're kind of trying to get it down to the cent, and you accidentally fill it to $20.03. Well, the best part about pour over is you get to live that experience every single morning when you hit 321.5 grams. Alright, so the coffee's pretty much drained through. Just going to get rid of that. You don't have to brew it into fancy glass. I do because it makes me feel cool, and because pouring it from the glass to the mug kind of helps you cool down the temperature just enough to where you can drink it pretty much right away.
Hey guys, this is Bryce, and when I'm at home, I actually don't tend to drink too much coffee. So whenever I do, I choose to make a CHEMEX. So what I've done is I went ahead and pre-wet the coffee filter, and I've weighed out 30 grams of our Palo Alto blend. This is my roommate Josh's hand grinder. He doesn't know that I use this when he's not here, so don't tell him, okay? Alright, and once I've ground up all 30 grams, I'm going to go ahead and take my water, which is freshly off a boil, and I'm going to bloom the grounds. So since I did 30 grams of coffee, I'm going to do about 60 grams of water for my bloom. And now that I've started the bloom, we'll let that sit for about 30 seconds so you can let the beans go ahead and degas. Hey Google, what's 30 times 16?
The answer is 480.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
It's very important to thank your virtual assistants so that when robots become sentient and try to take over, they'll remember that you were kind to them. So once our 30 seconds have passed for the bloom, we're going to go ahead and begin pouring our water very slowly onto the grounds. And since once our 30 seconds have passed and the bloom cycle is finished, we'll begin pouring our water. We're going to be following a 1:16 ratio. So since we did 30 grams of coffee, we're going to bring it up to 480 grams of water total. When pouring into the Chemex, it's important to aim for the light spots, try to avoid the dark ones, just to help make sure that all the grounds get saturated. And we're just going to keep a nice, even, and slow stream. Whenever I'm at work, I'm much more picky about the measurements or the times that I do things, but when I'm at home, I tend to just do it in a few pulses. I just want the coffee. That's it. We're going to let some of the water go down, and then once it's lowered a bit, we'll continue to add more water, and we'll keep this process going until we get to 480 grams of water total. Okay, once we've gotten to 480 grams, we're just going to sit and let the water drain the rest of the way. Okay, once the water is drained completely out of the beans, we can go ahead and discard the filter. And two things when drinking in Chemex that are important. It's important to give it a swirl before you pour it so that you can mix all the different levels of coffee throughout there all together. And the second and most important step is to drink out of your favorite mug, because it absolutely makes a taste difference, and if anyone tells you otherwise, they are completely wrong. And that is how I make a Chemex in the morning. That's the stuff.
Hey guys, it's your girl Rach, and I'm going to be showing you how I make coffee at home. So I've decided to do a baby Chemex because Bay already did the big Chemex, and so I'm going to do the baby Chemex. Yes, so I'm going to tell you what you need to be able to do the baby Chemex. First, you have to be 5'3" to do it, or under. So if you're above 5'3", you can't do the baby Chemex. Also, you're gonna need hot water, baby Chemex, scale, grinder, and your favorite coffee, which today I'm gonna be using Folgers Classic Roast. Joke! I'm not gonna do that because I respect everyone that likes Folgers, but also I'm not going to use Folgers. I've chosen Costa Rica from PCR. I'm going to be doing that. So I've already gone ahead and weighed out 20 grams of Costa Rica. Perfect. Since I already have it weighed out and everything, because I use a scale, I'm going to go ahead and grind it. And this is a grinder from the 90s, and I suggest that you only use one from that era because it does the worst job. So yeah, it doesn't have any different grind settings. You just kind of chomp it and it does it. And so I just feel like before I grind the coffee, I feel like there's something that's missing. Duh. I need to set the mood. Okay, I totally forgot. So before you make coffee, you definitely have to set the mood. We love coffee with a good mood setting. Dim the lights, you know, just set the mood. I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quickly. Perfect. So now, we're gonna go ahead and grind it. All right, perfect. love the smell of candles and coffee. All right, so now that I have preheated the CHEMEX, I'm gonna go ahead and pour in my 20 grams of coffee. And I'm going to zero out the scale. Actually, I'm gonna turn on the scale and it'll be at 0, so. All right, and so I'm taking the hot water and I'm gonna go ahead and put in, so the ratio is gonna be 1 to 16. And so for every 1 gram of coffee, I'm gonna do 16 grams of water. So since I have 20 grams, it's gonna be 320 of water. And so I'm gonna go ahead and put in 30 grams for my bloom. And so I'm gonna let it sit there for maybe like a couple of seconds, maybe like 10 seconds, and kind of just let it bloom. You really don't have to do this, but if you want to be extra, you can do it. And also go slower than I did right there. That was really fast, but this thing is heavy and I have weak arms, so sometimes it just goes, you know. Okay. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go slower than this. Did I go this whole time?
I do the full 320.
Am I going too fast?
We're gonna cut this whole little part of this.
Oh, we are? Perfect. So they won't see this at all. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So I got 320 grams of water. So I'm just gonna let it sit for 30 seconds till it goes down, till she looks good. All right, so once the coffee is done dripping fully, I'm gonna discard of the grounds into a trash can. Not on the ground, there's a trash can here. Thank you. And then you're gonna go ahead and get your favorite mug. I personally think that the CHEMEX tastes best in a Christmas mug, but that's just me. Some people like regular mugs. I personally like mine to say ho ho ho, so. All right, wow. Look at her, full of caffeine and full of Christmas. Who doesn't love that? That's the stuff.
Hey guys, my name is Brynn, and my favorite method for brewing coffee at home is going to be with the MOKA pot. It's super user friendly. All you need is water, ground coffee, and a stovetop. So I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so all you're going to need to do for this is you unscrew the top, and then you've got 2 different sections right here. This is where your water goes in. This is where your ground coffee is going to go in. So all you need is just some room temperature water. I have some distilled water just because the coffee tastes better when you're using that. And you're gonna go ahead and pour it in. And you pour in enough water to make sure you are just below this little safety valve that's right here. Okay, next you're gonna go ahead and take your coffee filter and some ground coffee. I have this ground a little bit coarser than espresso, but around the similar setting. And it's about 2 tablespoons in here. You pour it in. You can flatten it out, but you don't pack it down at all. You want it really nice and loose. All right, so once you have that scooped out, you can go ahead and level out. Again, make sure it's not compressed, and you're gonna go ahead and drop it right into where you have the water. Then you're gonna screw on the top, not too tight, but just tight enough, and you're gonna go ahead and take it over to the stove. All right, so I went ahead and turned on the stove to a medium to low heat, which for me is about a 6, sometimes a 7 if I'm feeling like it. But so what this is gonna do is the water underneath is gonna boil, and that pressure is gonna push through the coffee grounds, and it's gonna create a really nice thick espresso. And I will show you what I like to pair it with in a little bit, but for now we wait. It should take about 7 to 8 minutes. Oop, now we gotta close it. Boop. Okay, So after about 7 minutes, I went ahead and ran the bottom portion under some cold tap water. This will just help stop the extraction so you don't get any burnt flavors of the coffee grounds in there. My favorite way to drink this is with some chocolate milk, but I'm scared to go to the grocery store, so I just had to use some regular milk. I also put some creamer in there just to add a little bit of flavor, and some ice to keep it nice and cold, and then I go ahead and take my mocha pot and I'll pour it right over top. Alright, you give it a little mixy mix. That's the stuff. Okay, bye. Well, I gotta run.
Hi, we're gonna make some coffee. We got Bloom with us today and this French press that I've been using for about 8 years. What is it? We put 2/3 of a cup into this measuring spoon. I don't remember where we got that recipe from either.
I believe it was from our years at Starbucks. Because typically this size of French press, we would use about 5 tablespoons. And that's roughly about that. So. Right, and then we have boiling water that we've let sit for a couple minutes. And then we're just gonna pour that in until all of the grounds are wet.
And then a lot more after that.
Yeah. And then until it's about at the bottom of this little black thing. We'll
Hey
take
Google,
this.
set a timer for 4 minutes.
Okay, 4 minutes. Starting now.
Starting now. And when that's done, we'll press this down and it'll be ready to go. It'll be pretty solid. Hi, hey Google.
Woo!
Stop, Google.
Press the plunger down slowly. As slow as you can humanly do. Too much, not enough.
That's good.
Not done yet. So close, look at that. There it is. Twist it around.
Yay, now it's coffee time. You fill it all the way up. Because putting cream in your coffee is bad. I'm kidding.
Yeah, all the way. Let's do it. Go team.
Cheers.
It's 5 in the afternoon. I'm not drinking this.
Not even a sip?
No.